Welcome to 100% Filler. Today I'm your host, Rolls. Back-to-back videos on a romance series. Just wait, just let me cook. They made a series about smoking good? While scrolling for more slop to read, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You happened to catch my eye. The smoking part in the title is really the only reason I gave it a chance in the first place. I read through the first 5 chapters without thinking about it too much, before a big plot point was developed, and when I realized the whole gimmick to this series, I went right back to the start to read it all over again. What is that, you ask? Well, let's dive into it. We follow the story of our main protagonist, Sasaki, a 45-year-old living the day-to-day life of an office worker. His pick-me-up to a bad day at work, besides his nicotine addiction, is the friendly smile of supermarket cashier Yamada. Having a few crappy days at work, kinda abuses his enjoyment of going to see Yamada, ends up getting served by someone else. Saddened by the fact, goes back to his other dopamine hit, cigarettes, only to realize it's prohibited. Luckily, is lured to an area where you can by a fellow worker of the supermarket. Accepting the invite sparks up with the young girl. Strangely enough, Sasaki has no recollection of ever seeing this person, even though she works at the supermarket. This girl knows about his habit of only checking out a register too, and toys with him directly asking if Yamada is his favorite cashier. Sasaki, cracking under the embarrassment, confesses his faults. Yeah, I may be a creepy, middle-aged man who deliberately checks out at a register, but I only do it because seeing her work is my pick-me-up. Shocked by his response, is just glad that it's not another crappy customer, even going as far to tell him, do your best to stay classy. That is the premise of the first chapter, that slowly builds on the relationship between Sasaki and this mystery lady, as they bond over their casual cigarettes. Honestly, the only reason I gave this series a go in the first place is due to the name. I didn't know what to expect going into it, and I'm very happy with what I got. The part that hooked me into the series is that we follow 3 characters, Sasaki, Yamada, and Tayama. Hold up a sec. Yamada, Tayama, Yamada. The big gimmick of Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You is that Sasaki is somehow so blind that the very person he goes to the supermarket for becomes his friend. They smoke all the time together and have normal conversations. Even under the cover of Tayama, as they slowly start to enjoy their time together, we see how it could progress to even more. I feel like Yamada did the split personality thing to help out Sasaki, because there are tons of times when this guy talks to the Yamada side that he just doesn't function and stumbles all over his words. The best part about it all is that with most romance series is that either side will sometimes get stuck on the words they're trying to say because they both know how they feel. Besides Yamada being straight up 2 different people to Sasaki depending on the situation, Sasaki can hit W old man Riz without having a heart attack or do something wholesome in front of supermarket Yamada and make her fall even harder. As the more honest side of Tayama, she will be the one who pushes or does little things to try and make Sasaki realize the feelings he has, even if he doesn't know how to express them or is even just scared of ruining what they have. Another tick for me is that all the characters are of age. I'd say every romance series I've watched or read is set in a high school setting. Persona fans right now, boo! I mean, Yamada, who was 25, falling for a 45-year-old is, yeah, I agree, a big gap. But they are also both adults, so that's their problem. Also, I'm very sure Tayama is literally based on Makima from Chainsaw Man. She resembles Makima a lot more when she's not in her work clothes, dressing how she normally would. Hair down, the red hair, the tomfoolery she does to Sasaki by teasing him all the time. I could be crazy, but they do share similarities. It's a slice of life to the T. Just the everyday things that occur. Sasaki stumbling into a fuming Yamada, stressing out so much to the point she pumped a whole pack of cigarettes. All because the star player, Yamada, actually had a complaint made towards her. Sasaki, just being kind, buys her a hot drink to try and take her mind off it. A hot drink is better than smokes or booze. Something like that. Sasaki, enduring the cold weather, sneezes a few times before, unprompted, Tayama gives her jacket to him, both thanking each other without saying it for just enjoying the company. Speaking of chapter 13, we see in hilarious fashion, one of the first times Tayama toying with Sasaki actually makes him decide not to check out at a register. This all stems from Sasaki's daily work life, when due to the influence of a coworker bringing up the idea of online quizzes that could tell your personality based on the brand of cigarettes you smoke. Jumping to their daily smoke, they dive into the quizzes to reveal that Sasaki looks down on people and also leans masochist, while Yamada is two-faced and actually has a high sex drive.
Ooh, arrest me, mommy!
Sasaki, ashamed he even made Yamada bring up the topic, gets on his knees and apologizes, discarding his smoke and glasses as a form of respect. Through his apologies, somehow gets us saying that Tayama might actually have two different sides, saying that you're both cool and kind, sticks a cigarette in his mouth to stop his jab. Sasaki, confused by her actions, starts to apologize as Yamada further toys with him like the good pet he is. The next day at the supermarket, he even debates if he should get his daily hit of Yamada due to, in his mind, upsetting Tayama. Actually goes to a different register only to be called over by Yamada. Honestly, I think this is one of my personal favorite chapters from the series. It's just so simple, but as I completely looked over each panel, calling out Yamada as Two-Face, Sasaki actually deleting his smoke and glasses to apologize, Yamada holding out the lighter with the little flick to show the noise of the lighter. All the small details are perfect. The blank emotion the two have when Sasaki is called over by her to use her register. Peak storytelling, like wow. I'm gonna call this an arc because a lot of big things happen and it kinda starts to get a bit serious. I'm going to cover from chapter 27 to 34. These chapters draw parallels to each other as it's the first time the two of them both have to deal with not being able to see each other due to decisions or accidents. It's the first time the two of them realize how much they actually enjoy hanging out together. In chapter 27, Sasaki screams to the world to express his annoyance, scaring a random couple passing by, only to actually get to speak to Tayama and wish her a happy holiday, and finally understand why she was gone. Chapter 28, due to her own actions, she actually shoots herself in the foot and is the reason why Sasaki takes a 2-week trip. Not telling Tayama, by accident I guess, leaving her in the dark for all that time and thinking she might have actually scared him off for good. When she finally does see him, cracks her facade in the most organic way. It was nice to see both of them actually miss each other, shocked when they couldn't speak to one another. A tired Sasaki completely forgetting about his birthday due to the sheer amount of work he's doing. The two share a special moment as they learn that their birthdays are one day apart and even trade cigarette packs as a gift for late presents. In an extra panel that wasn't included in the main chapter, we see Sasaki be stingy after he realizes that he only has the pack that was gifted to him and goes an entire day without smoking. This was hilarious to me, and it shows how much he deeply values Tayama as a person, to hold on to the gift and even suffer than smoke the gift. Running into the owner of Daigoro, the dog that shows up quite a lot in this series, he shares a dinner with her, only to run into Yamada after. Annoyed at the fact he just went and had dinner with a random person, starts to feel jealous and wonder if she and Sasaki could ever get to that point. I feel this is when he finally starts to value Tayama's side more over Yamada's work persona. Look, at this point in the story, Sasaki still doesn't know he's hanging out with Yamada like 5 days out of the week, but it is also the start to Yamada's growing desire to actually do things with Sasaki outside of just smoking behind the supermarket, even wishing that he'd ask her to go out and have ramen together. Sasaki runs into a very smashed Tayama, who crashes out at the fact that he's just too classy for his own good, and not saying it, but just annoyed he can't take a hint and try to progress things. I don't really have much to say about this chapter besides the fact that it was really funny. Yeah, alcohol is bad, but I do think it helped with the way Sasaki would look at things in the future when interacting with Tayama. Yamada, found by two fellas just trying to take her on a date, are scared away by the ever so convenient Sasaki finding her. Running to a nearby smoke shop, Sasaki has trouble trying to explain what his brand of cigarettes look like, only for Tayama to pull out a prize gift to show the clerk. Sasaki bursts out his younger gen looking hairstyle, where he's actually good looking. I rate it and want more. Yamada actually just went on the walk in the first place, hoping the stars would align and she would run into a pet. Glad she did, but then struggles with the fact that she actually wants to do more than just smoke together. With all the lies that Yamada has built up to make this work, I do really feel bad for her now. Knowing she wants more and genuinely likes Sasaki, but has dug the hole so deep she doesn't know how to get out of it. It pisses me off, but at the same time, would Sasaki ever think he'd have a chance at hitting it off with his favorite idol? Even more, being able to hold a normal conversation long enough to lead to this point? Nope. As the two of them talk, a cherry blossom viewing begins. As they smoke away, Yamada learns that something she said over a year ago that she couldn't possibly remember still holds a big impact on Sasaki, causing her to hit a Yamada level smile. As they travel on, Tayama eventually poses the question, do you like how things are now? They both agree before heading home for the night. The two of them both struggle with their real feelings. They deeply desire to progress to more, to get past smoking behind the supermarket with you, but they are both super scared of wrecking what they have now. It's such a real thing, I love it. This chapter draws parallels to 31 where Yamada left her work party because she couldn't handle it. Same thoughts from Sasaki. He just wanted the day to be over, and if I go out something nice might happen. Through my more than 200 screenshots of this manga, when Yamada asks if he's happy with how things are now, the panels are sloped. Generational writing, dear Janushi. They are happy with how things are, though they truly want more. Why mess it all up when it's fine right now? If you enjoyed Kaguya-sama, Love is War, the guy she wasn't interested in, wasn't a guy at all, and teasing Master Tagagi-san, I think you can find something you'd like about Smoking Behind the Supermarket with you. I say that because these were the 3 series I had in mind when writing this, and I've realized I haven't really watched or read any anime or manga that is more focused in an adult setting. To me, it has the back and forth of Kaguya-sama, because Sasaki and Yamada can get embarrassed, be it from Sasaki just being honest and nice, or Yamada's Tayama side who can do whatever she wants and get away with it. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. Aya falling for someone she didn't even know was a girl in the first place. Sasaki falls for a more honest version of Yamada, her out-of-work self. TZ Master Tagagi-san was one of the first more fully romance-based series I watched when first getting into anime, so it holds that spot. Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You has those slapstick moments teasing Master Tagagi-san had, but it just feels like it was set in an adult setting without the split personality gag. A 10 out of 10. I cannot wait to see this animated. Coming sometime in 2026, the everyday problems or events of adults and it being real enough to believe is the biggest selling point for me. Junichi, I love this series. Please do not copy strike my video. We need more people on the series. At the current time, the manga has 54 chapters. It is held up all the way through and has me checking to see when new chapters are released. I've tried to find some way to be notified to make it easier to know when it comes out. Looks like I'm just gonna have to watch their Twitter to know. To bring up the 100 girlfriends who really love you, we have made a video on this. It's a very hard fight for the best romance between the two of these. 100 Girlfriends is a really good harem that puts a spotlight on all the characters in the series, compared to the very real things that happen and slowly building romantic feelings that Sasaki and Yamada experience as time passes on. As I just wrote that, I've realized my true feelings. 100 Girlfriends is extremely good at what it does, 100%, but it's not realistic. It was my all-time new favorite romance series, and through my editing on this video, Smoking Behind the Supermarket review has taken that spot. I'm hooked, and at present time, it's going through such a good arc. I can argue that Sasaki is really stupid for not picking up that he's speaking to Yamada, but old man things, eh? Well, that's me. This has been 100% Filler. Roll signing off.